Electric craze, you win, you lose, the screen displays. Retro Legends Arcade, where heroes are made. Insert your coin, don't be afraid. Retro Legends Arcade. Pinball clatters, jackpot rings, 8-bit world where power springs. Twitches hum, the chaos sings, forever young on timeless wings. Press start to play, the night won't decay. Retro Legends Arcade, where heroes are made. Insert your coin, don't be afraid. Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Retro Legends Arcade. We have a good show for you tonight. Hello, Wingo. Hello, Bliss. Video Game Vegas, I see you. For some reason, it's not coming up my chat, but I see Hollywood Polo. I see Video Game Vegas. For some reason, it's not populating my chat over on my main channel, but welcome to the stream, everybody. Everyone go to the Papa Brad's gaming channel, because Papa Brad is going to be drinking some Fallout soda tonight. You can pick what I drink first. Am I going to drink the Nuka-Cola grape? Is that going to be the first one I drink? Or am I going to maybe sample the Nuka-Cola Quantum? We played the Fallout Pinball all last week in Pinball Effects VR. It was fantastic. Or I've got the Sunset Sarsaparilla. Go to the Papa Brad's gaming channel and vote now live to determine which soda I drink first. It's going to get crazy in here. I'm going to get all hopped up on Fallout sodas. Very exciting. So that being said, let me welcome to the show, everyone. Friday night just got legit. I'm glad you're here. We got a great show lined up. I've got a ton of good content. We're going to talk about what arcades were like in the 90s. We're going to cover some Arcade 1-Up news, which I haven't covered in a long time. We're going to touch on some other fun topics that I haven't talked about in a while, but just to give you a little bit of fun. And so we had a great week of gaming. Hello, Active Pinball. Hello, Active Pinball and Arcade gamers. Welcome here. Welcome to the show. If you're not familiar with the Retro Legends Arcade, this is a show with online leaderboards we do each week. We select different games. We play all week against each other. It's just a lot of fun. It's all free. Doesn't cost you anything to play. You just have to have a phone to enter your scores. Got a lot of topics tonight. A lot of topics. Hey, what's up? Now you came through, Hollywood Polo. Hollywood Polo is here. Party on. Excellent. That's right. So glad you're here. Welcome to the show. And we're going to start by talking about, let me just go to my topics real quick to make sure I get everything. I'm just going to give you an overview first. So we got a big show lined up. So we got Retro Legends Arcade Season 2, Week 3 results. Then I'm going to tell you about the new games we're adding to the Retro Legends Arcade for the week. We'll talk about Toy Fair and Basic Fun, Arcade Up, One Up, and Iconic Arcade. I got some hot at-game news, including a sneak peek at a new table. Talk about the nod deals. Talk about Nautilus coming out. Talk about Flipper Friends. I have some retro game content, including a free game, costs you nothing, called Pac-Man Forever. It's completely free. And then we're going to watch an incredible video on what it was like going to an arcade in the 90s. So we got a huge show lined up. And we're going to start off by showing respect to the real gamers. I'm talking about the people that played during the week and the Retro Legends Arcade. So I'm going to start off with a shout out to all the gamers that played this week. So this is for you. Welcome to the Season 2, Week 3 results. Let's go over the results of this week's gameplay in the Retro Legends Arcade. Let me switch views. Boom, and there we are looking at our beautiful leaderboards. And let's start with Jungle King. We had T. McCloskey. Then we had Bruno, Jay, me, and then Sacro took the win with 19,650. Great week of competitive gaming. Myself in the corner here. And that was Jungle King, the arcade game. Move that over. We also played the Flipper Friends games. We had 3 games. We had Future World, Nautilus, and Pinball Champ. Let's see. Pinball Champ, we had Sacro, me, and then Wingo. Nautilus, we had Sacro, Papa Brad, Wingo, T. McCloskey. Good game. Future World, we had a lot of players. Sacro, Papa Brad, Ballydurn, Wingo, Jay, Bliss 2121, and T. McCloskey. Congratulations, Sacro, who's getting a clean sweep here all the way across Flipper Friends and the arcade game. Well done, Sacro. And of course, we played some games in VR. We played 3 games this week. With the release of the Bethesda pack, I felt like we had a very rich selection of games. So I just put them all in the leaderboards this week so we could get back to Star Wars next week with Empire Strikes Back. So let's start with Doom. We had Ballydurn for the win, Bliss 2121, me, then Mikey Yoon. We played Fallout, Bliss 2121 for the win. Ballydurn, me, and then Jay. Thank you for playing, Jay. In Skyrim, we had Ballydurn, Bliss 2121, me, and Jay. And those were our results for the week. Thank you so much for playing. Next week's games are already up. We have the 3 Flipper Friends games, Hot Wheels, Locomotion Remake, and Farfalla Deluxe. We'll be playing the classic arcade game, Xevious. We're playing the great Zaccaria Pinball, Fallen Aces Deluxe. Great new pack from Zaccaria Pinball. Available on Steam, that's how I'll be playing it. And we'll be playing the Empire Strikes Back. Huge thank you to all the players for a great week of competition. I'll be seeing you on the leaderboards. Let's go. All right. Let's go. Welcome to the stream, Biggie D. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream, the #1 AtGames Pinball player in the world, Mad Ben Hand, the legend himself, here in our chat. Great to see you, Ben. By the way, thank you for putting up the videos. I do appreciate his videos. If you're a fan of digital pinball, AtGames Pinball, go to his channel. Check out, he'll show you how to play these games at the highest level. He is the #1 player in AtGames. So we got Video Game Vegas says he's not seeing Mad Ben Hand. I guess he wanted some others to win. Yeah, my leaderboards are completely open. Everyone is welcome. It's not hidden behind a Discord. It's for everyone. Anyone that wants to play. If you want to post a score, post a score. Okay, let me check in with my poll because I'm ready to start drinking some of these sodas. Which one is it going to be? Is it going to be the Fallout Sarsaparilla? Is it going to be the Nuka-Cola Quantum? Is it going to be the Nuka-Cola Grape? I'm excited to see. Let me check in with the poll. Please go to the Papa Brad's Gaming channel to vote on what soda I drink first. And it looks like the winner chicken dinner right now for the first one to drink is going to be Nuka Grape. Nuka Grape is the winner. Okay. So let me get one more sip of coffee before I start drinking these sodas. Yeah, Mad Ben Ham was the winner of our last tournament we did. We did Elvira, and he was the winner of the Elvira tournament. But everyone's welcome. These tournaments are all for free, for fun. So, okay, here we go. Nuka-Cola Grape it will be. Pop it open. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Ooh, listen to that fizz. Okay. Look at that. Nuka-Cola Grape. It looks good. And I'm going to go Wolverine. I'm going to go full-on Wolverine with this. Ooh, look at that fizz. I might need to let that calm down. Let me take a sip. Oh, that is delicious. That is delicious. Wow, that is good. These are actually made by Jones Soda, and they're available for a limited time. These are the Fallout sodas. We'll start with the Nuka-Cola Grape first. Grape 8. Maybe you got to vote. You got to vote. Now, right now, it looks like the other two are tied. The Quantum and the Sunset Sarsaparilla are tied for 25%. The Grape was the first pick. And one thing about, we only pick the best games. We don't play the junk. We play the good stuff. We pick the best games for our tournament. And we've played all the premium arcade games, all the games everyone wants to play. We've played them in the Retro Legends arcade. And we pick the top tier of pinball and arcade games to play. So that being said, let's take a look at what's going to be coming to us this week. We've got some really fun games. And then I'm also going to put the Flipper Friends games in the each week because I'm playing them anyway, and I want to have them on my leaderboard so I can keep track of my scores. So if you're playing in Flipper Friends, you can instantly put your scores in. And I will take a photo of a Flipper Friends submission from AtGames. Flipper Friends is a free tournament. It's a ranked official tournament that's locked down, so you can't get more real than that. If you want to put your score in, you could take a picture of your screenshot of your Flipper Friends scores in the Flip Pal. But let's take a look at the games we're adding to the Retro Legends arcade while I enjoy this delicious Jones Nuka-Cola Grape soda, shall we? This week in the Retro Legends arcade, the force is strong because we're going to play Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. I'll definitely be playing this in Pinball Effects VR with my X Arcade. Incredible game. Play it this week, all week long. Star Wars: Empire Strikes Back. Fantastic game from Zen Studios Pinball. Can't wait to play it. Come join us. Drop some scores on our leaderboards. Links are in the description of this video. Everyone is welcome to play. I mean, this is a fantastic game, Star Wars. It's not to like. All this week in the Retro Legends Arcade. May the Force be with you. Always.
Many thousands of years ago, there was a technologically advanced civilization that lived here on Earth, the Xevious. Their powerful computers made a terrible prediction. An ice age was about to descend that would be so extreme that human life could not survive. And so the entire population left the Earth in their spacecraft to seek a new home in deep space. But now, the Xevious have come back to reclaim the planet in a totally compelling video game experience from Atari, where players search the remote corners of the Earth to find and destroy the invaders.
Okay, now get those. How do I get them?
Players control a Solvaloo spaceship using an 8-position joystick to move the ship over an ever-changing terrain. The Solvaloo flies over forests, rivers, deserts, and oceans, searching for Xevious ground bases and air targets. First, waves of toroid patrol fleets come into view. The player shoots these and other air targets with the zapper button, which is used for rapid-fire strafing. The blaster button is used when destroying ground targets. The ship is moved with the joystick so that the cursor is placed over the ground target, and when the blaster is pressed, the Solvaloo fires at any ground target in the cursor frame. Players must lead the targets due to the airspeed of the ship, and well-placed shots can destroy 2 ground bases at the same time. The Solvaloo can pass over any ground obstacle or target, but players must watch out for shots fired at them from the bases. Xevious air targets will cost the players a Solvaloo life if a collision occurs. As the gameplay progresses, many new air targets are introduced with different point values, and these Xevious air targets are increasingly complex and aggressive. One of the Xevious inventions that really challenges players is a flotilla of flying mirrors, the Bacula resistor shields, which are like a flying maze that the Solvaloo must negotiate. The resistor shield cannot be destroyed by firepower and will wipe out the player's Solvaloo if any contact is made. Not only does the air battle intensify, but the Xevious ground bases present greater challenges every second of gameplay. There are defense sites, dome networks, and mega sites, which fire at the player from their fixed positions, and the Xevious have tanks and rovers, which move over the terrain to defend their captured lands. Xevious challenges the player in a way no other video game has done before. The computer program monitors and self-adjusts the difficulty level of gameplay to the ability of the player at the controls moment by moment. No wave is ever the same because Xevious provides a unique competition between the player and the smart computer that responds to individual player input. In later waves of gameplay, a blink of the Solvaloo's cursor indicates the presence of a hidden Xevious citadel, which when hit, rises up from the ground, earning the player high point value, which increases further if hit again and destroyed. Suddenly, the Xevious unveil their most powerful and destructive weapon, the mothership Andor Genesis, which dominates the color raster display screen. The player must shoot the Andor Genesis in the central reactor to disable the awesome ship. But this is an extremely difficult task due to the steady barrage of energy blasts that are fired at the player's ship. If a player is skillful enough to disable the Andor Genesis, he must be ready for the possibility of twin motherships at another level. Although Xevious is like no other video game because of the self-percentaging factor of its player interactive computer, Atari knows that it's always important for operators to be able to adjust the game settings to fit the needs of a specific location. All options, such as number of lives, coinage controls, and bonus or no bonus, can be set in a self-test mode. Xevious has got it all. Fabulous graphics on a full-color raster display, great sound effects, and a smart computer to challenge players continually as the action-packed drama unfolds.
We're also going to play all 3 Flipper Friends games. You can drop scores on our Retro Legends leaderboards, as well as play an AtGames free weekly tournament. Be playing the games anyway, and I like having them in the Retro Legends arcade because then I have a permanent record of how I did in the tournament. So feel free to drop your scores from AtGames Pinball in the Retro Legends arcade. We're just going to run the games in parallel. Great games this week. We got Hot Wheels, Farfalla Deluxe, and Locomotion 2018. Let's take a quick look at all 3 games. First up is Hot Wheels. Fun game. I love that moving target in the middle. This is your basic old school pinball. Do love this little launcher that's on the side that shoots into those targets. This will be fun to score chase all week. Also this week in Flipper Friends and on the Retro Legends arcade will be Farfalla Deluxe.
What the heck? Too much going on. Can't see. Don't like. What is this? Across the playfield? Are you kidding? Nuts.
And here we have a multi-ball going on Farfalla Deluxe. Getting a little practice. Last but not least, we have Locomotion 2018 or Locomotion Remake. So 3 great games to play for Flipper Friends this week. Come join me, and I'll see you on the leaderboards in Flipper Friends. Also been streaming gameplay each week with all my hints and tips to play all these games. So check out Papa Brad's Gaming for live streams of the Flipper Friends games. Top 10 ranked player, and I'll share all the tips that I use to play the games. It's all about the games. Last but not least, we're going to play some Zaccaria Pinball. This week in the Retro Legends arcade, Fallen Aces Deluxe. Let's score chase the Deluxe table and the Fallen Aces pack. This pack is phenomenal.
Just when I thought I couldn't get any lower, I ended up here. Playing with fire always comes with the risk of being burnt, but this time was different. This time I couldn't lie or bribe my way out of it. It was only a matter of time before the ghosts from my past caught up with me. And now they're out for blood.
We got some fantastic games to play this week, including Fallen Aces, the brand new Zaccaria pack. Let me show you a quick look at this table. Here's a short I made on the Fallen Aces table. Fallen Aces Deluxe. Pack was $9.99. I will say the beginning is fantastic. I love that it starts with a multi-ball right out the gate. I mean, this is how you start a pinball game. This is fantastic. That means everyone that plays is going to get this killer experience of this multi-ball. This is brilliant, whoever designed the stage. Yeah, and that's the beginning of the table. Right when it starts off, it fires you with an instant 3-ball multi-ball. And then there's a trick you have to do after the multi-ball to continue the game. Here's the strategy for Fallen Aces. I'm going to share a strategy tip since I'm adding this to the tournament this week. But actually, after you do the 3-ball multi-ball, you have to do this. Now, I did read up on this game. So what I want to do now, believe it or not, is I want to fill these lights up, and then I want to drain the ball on purpose. But I gotta get the ball save lit. Okay.
Made my day.
There's how I'm going to do it. I think I figured out what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to hit it up top there. You can't backhand that shot, huh? Oh, I missed one. Oh, the ball save is lit, so I want to drain it. Now, the reason why you do that is it starts the story mode. So you have to let the ball drain, and it starts the story mode. So now it will actually start progressing through the story. And if I would have kept playing, it wouldn't have started the. So anyway, there you go. To start the story mode, you have to light all the rollovers at the bottom, and then you purposely let it drain, and that's how you continue the game. Hey, welcome to the stream, Mikey Yoon. Good to see you. But that is Fallen Aces, a great game. So we got a lot of good stuff. We got Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. You know, which is a super fun table. Probably play that in VR. We've got all the Flipper Friends tables that you can play. And we've got the arcade game Xevious, which is a great arcade game. Next tournament will probably be next month. I'll probably do like one a month, Mikey. It's asking, when is the next live tournament? I'll probably do another one next month. So that's probably when I'll run the next live tournament. So let me check in with my list here. Let's see what I've covered so far. I think the next thing, let's see, we went over the results. We introduced the new games. Oh, Toy Fair, Arcade 1-Up, and Basic Fun News, or Iconic Arcade. What? I haven't covered this stuff in a while. I believe I'm. Okay, so first up, let's talk about some Arcade 1-Up. Arcade 1-Up. Just a quick look at the Toy Fair, Basic Fun Arcade 1-Up. You know what people want, and what people always want is more and more Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, of course. Got some of these small handhelds. We'll move into the arcade cabinets. You got the Golden Tee, Return of the Jedi, the nice washed out monitor there. Got you a Pac-Man cab, bread and butter, Centipede, Galaga, and the talk of the town, the Sonic the Hedgehog Deluxe cabinet, Supreme, the full-size Sonic, which was never an arcade game, but will probably sell great. I mean, that's a cool piece for someone that has a video game room and if you love Sonic. I don't know, $700 bucks? You got the Broken WrestleFest without all the wrestlers. You got a terrible Miss Pac-Man with a terrible marquee. It's not even go from edge to edge. You got a bad control panel that doesn't look authentic. I wonder if they fixed the emulation on their Miss Pac-Man, because it was off last time I played it. There you go, Arcade 1-Up, basic fun, making the moves. Here's some more clips from the Toy Fair if you didn't get enough. This will be the only Sonic the Hedgehog video that I'm going to make. And, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog, good game, a console game. It's never really an arcade game as far as the version they're using, but be interesting to see if it is successful. That is Arcade 1-Up Basic Fun News. Hope you enjoyed this. Back to the show. There you go. They know what people want. They want more Pac-Mans. We got to do more Pac-Mans. Hey, what's up? Dark Realm Gaming is here. Welcome to the show. Sonic rocks. I'm purchasing that cab, as well as the Street Fighter Alpha 2 cab. We're going to talk some iconic arcade next. You know, Arcade 1-Up, I mean, there's been a lot of people that have been furious about the Sonic cab, but personally, I can kind of see it doing well because, you know, this might not be for this community. This is for someone that just is into collecting retro games. They just want to put that in their space, you know? And you know, I think it's pretty brilliant, you know? It's pretty brilliant to do Sonic because I think Sonic will actually sell well. And this tiny community that's on YouTube, they have to realize that, you know, their big business decisions are probably not going to rotate around their want for, you know, arcade, quote unquote, recreations, you know? I mean, there are a million ways to play these games right now. I mean, if you want to play these games, if you're a gamer and you want to play arcade games, times have never been better. I mean, got the AtGames Legends Ultimate behind me. It can play just about everything in this arcade game. You know, I would be more excited if Arcade 1-Up was doing more stuff with unique controls, things that are hard to emulate. But that's for me. You know, they got to do what makes business sense. They got to do what makes business sense for them. And that was, you know, a look at the Sonic, which is, you know, the Miss Pac-Man to me was a pretty, it had some things that I couldn't believe they missed, like the marquee, the logo doesn't stretch. Now, these are things that you would hope they would fix before they release it, but their track record has been to change nothing and just release it broken the way it is. But if I could give them some constructive feedback, I would say the marquee needs to be stretched all the way across where it says Miss Pac-Man. The control panel artwork is all wrong. They need to totally redo it and make it look more like the arcade game. One of the problems I've had, too, with some of those cabinets is when they lay the monitor back, some of those BOE monitors, they don't really do well because they're not made for that viewing angle. So make sure that the monitor works well at that slant, because when you slant it like that, it doesn't do real well. But you know, overall, you know, I think, you know, they're going to give, you know, well, the one thing people said they didn't want was another Pac-Man. So instead they got Miss Pac-Man. But, you know, I don't think it's that big of a jump. But Miss Pac-Man is a super popular game. And if you're talking about making money, Miss Pac-Man's probably going to make money, and Sonic the Hedgehog is going to make money. And they're a business. They're making these games to make money. But, you know, for me, I got a million ways to play Sonic. So for me, it's not really for me. But like I said, if I was collecting a lot of retro games, if I was a huge Genesis fan, why wouldn't you want one of these? It's kind of cool. That's my opinion on it. Let's talk about some iconic arcade next. Of course, we're going to talk about iconic arcade, the XXL machine. Brand new competitor in the home arcade space. This is a Raspberry Pi 5 equipped arcade. Project led by John D., famous of Arcade 1-Up hype. Let's find out what the panel's opinions are of the iconic arcade, and we are off. This is an iconic arcade cabinet. This thing's been a long time coming. The only real news on this is there's another delay. This is from Kev Gret. You were all promised iconic arcades will be shipped in January. Well, then they said February. Now they aren't expected to leave China. They're not even leaving China until March. And then he shows the shipping manifest here. So it looks like there's another delay for the iconic arcade. So if you're waiting on that, hopefully Dark Realm Gaming, I'm sorry, it's going to be a little bit longer. But, you know, eventually you should be getting it soon. At least there's some communication from Iconic Arcade. Let me see here. If you haven't checked out my review, check out my review on the Bethesda Pinball Pack on Pinball Effects. Let me drink some of this Nuka-Cola grape. Let me check in with the poll and see what the next one I have to drink is. Okay, so if you're new to the stream, please vote right now. We have a tie. Right now, Papa Brad's getting hopped up on Soda Pop. And we have basically left, we have the Sarsaparilla, or we have the Nuka-Cola Quantum. So please vote for one of those two. Okay? Looks like Sunset Sarsaparilla is pulling ahead right now. Sunset Sarsaparilla is pulling ahead. So that'll probably be the next one. I'm going to check in with the poll in a minute. Thank you for voting. Let me go here. Let me go pull up my chat real quick. Let's see. Something about the tariffs. The tariffs are illegal. I'll pull that up. I'm not going to read it, but we will see. We will see. Let's see. We got Video Game Vegas. I prefer to play my console games with a controller and my arcade games on arcade cabinets. I'm 100% with you. Like, this is definitely not for me. I mean, I am an arcade gamer 100%. I have, like, I could play, right now I could turn around and play it on the AOU if I wanted to. If I wanted to play it with arcade controls. But I feel like, you know, these console games are meant to be on a console. But that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean it won't be a commercial success, though. It totally could be a commercial success, especially if it looks cool. I am rooting for the Iconic Arcade. I hope it's good. Absolutely. I hope they can deliver some online play. And if they could have a store where you could buy games, that would be a huge benefit. Video Game Vegas says maybe you'll get his New Wave Toys pre-orders before the Iconic Arcade. Dark Realm Gaming, welcome to the stream. I said, I see what you're saying, Video Game Vegas, about playing your controllers with Sonic. Eventually, we're all going to give in and do the FOMO. We got Ichabod Crane. Welcome to the stream. Ichabod has a great channel. Go subscribe. I'm going to subscribe to his channel. He does some cool game content, retro gaming. It says Sioux City Sarsaparilla, dude. Okay, so we're going to check. We're going to check. Sonic came free with the Genesis from Toys R Us when I was a kid. Yeah, the Sonic the Hedgehog was it's just an iconic game, right? I mean, everyone loves Sonic. And, you know, I think, you know, if you think about it, was a swing for the fences because you think about big video game characters, you know, you got Mario, number one, Sonic, and Q*bert. Where's Q*bert? I mean, come on, give us a Q*bert. Are you kidding me? How do we not have an arcade version of Q*bert? I mean, all I want is a Q*bert. So, like, you make a Q*bert, I'm down. I'm going to buy it because it has those unique controls. You know, you have to mount your controls diagonally on your arcade cabinet to play Q*bert perfectly. So, I mean, I would 100% buy a Q*bert. Would be something I would be super interested in. Because even in emulation, you really can't emulate it well because you need those unique controls. But that's what I would like to see from Home Arcade Company. And actually, I played my New Wave Toys Q*bert till it broke. Unfortunately, my New Wave Toys Q*bert that I have broke. So now I don't even have a good way to play Q*bert at home. I could play it on any of my multicades, but you know it's kind of weird because you're playing kind of crooked, because the joystick isn't mounted the right direction. That's a game that really needs someone to give it some love. And everyone knows Q*bert is an iconic character. I mean, I think that would be a very easy home run for someone to make. So let me check in here. And Mario and Mr. Do. There's a huge delay on my chat for some reason. I'm not getting all the comments, so I'll just have my phone open. But yes, I love Mr. Do. Mr. Do is a great game. So that being said, let me go to my notes. We talked about basic fun and iconic arcade news. Okay, it's now time for some AtGames news. So let me pull up my AtGames news real quick. Let's see, here we go. All right. Woo! You know what time it is? Oh, look at that. Ice cold. That is a mug. That is an ice cold mug. Looks like in second place. And the poll, second place, is going to be the Sunset Sarsaparilla. Check that out. That's the Fallout Soda Pop. Look at that. The Fallout Sunset Sarsaparilla, second place. Here we go. Let's pop this one open. Well, listen to that nice pop. Listen to that. And this is from the Fallout. We've been playing the Fallout Pinball this week. My nice Ramones ice cold mug. Look at that. This would have been perfect for when we were playing Root Beer Tapper. Well, look at that. Look at that. It's like a perfect size. It's like it's made for it. Sunset Sarsaparilla. Getting hyped up on some sodas here. Take a sip of this. That is so good. Wow. That's delicious. Sunset Sarsaparilla. And let me check in with the chat real quick. AtGames News is coming up. Oh yeah, Ramones is post-punk, not real punk. Just to let you know. Yeah, well, I like all kinds of music. Hey ho, let's go. It's a Blitzkrieg bop. That's right. So let's talk about some AtGames news real quick. Let me pull up my my things. I think the first thing that a lot of people want. Let's talk about the new table that's coming out first. They're going to be releasing a brand new table. Here's their schedule. They've got Nautilus EM Plus coming out next. That'll be the next table that they're releasing. I got some scoops. Here's what the back glass will look like. Pretty awesome. You got an octopus with a trident. And I have some clips to show. Let's check out the game. First, I have a 20-second trailer, and then I have about a minute and a half of gameplay. So let's look at the 20-second trailer from AtGames. There you go. It was a 20-second trailer. Now let's look at a 1 minute and a half trailer of gameplay. There you go. There was a sneak peek at some gameplay from the brand new Nautilus table. That'll be the next table. I do love the sounds, the way it sounds like this, the ocean sounds while you're playing the game. They got the shark on the play field. I think that's pretty cool. You got the octopus in the back glass. So that was a look at Nautilus EM Plus, the next release coming out on AtGames. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is I want to talk a little bit about Flipper Friends. Flipper Friends is a free tournament that AtGames offers every week. We're also going to play the same games in the Retro Legends arcade, so if you want to drop your scores on my leaderboards, you can. Flipper Friends, week 3. Games we'll be playing will be Farfalla Deluxe, Hot Wheels, Locomotive 2018, or Locomotive Remake. Shout out to all the players that played this week in Flipper Friends and in the Retro Legends arcade. Week 2, this was an intense week with Future World, Nautilus, and Pinball Champ. Pretty challenging games. I did do a stream where I played Flipper Friends live. I shared all my strategies I used to play these games. I'm going to do a live stream every week of Flipper Friends, share any strategies I use. Currently in the top 10 ranked players on AtGames. So I'm in the top 10. I'm going to share anything that I know or anything I've learned about these pinball machines and these games we're playing. This past week, I came in 9th place overall, so still in the top 10 best players playing AtGames Pinball. Let's take a look at the leaderboards for the Flipper Friends. Season 2, Week 2, and see how it panned out. In the number 1 spot, also in our chat, Mad Ben Hand, the number 1 AtGames player in the world. And to put Alex in his place, Sacro coming in the number 2 spot. So we got Mad Ben Hand number 1, Sacro, who Alex was calling out for some reason, comes in number 2. Well done, Sacro. We had Cyril, Spartacus, 6-string pin, Skull Joe, Wizard 626, Pinball Wizard 2023, Papa Brad, myself came in the 9th place out of all people that played AtGames and Flipper Friends. Then we had, I can't read that. Is that Jem Blankston? Jem Blankston. Then we have from 11 to 20, we have some other people. Dennis B. We have Wingo. Good job, Wingo. Came in 12th. We got Wyo in 13th. Retrotech X, 14th. JR Book, I don't know. And Ballydern, 17th. And Jason Turney in 19th place. So, pretty exciting. Flipper Friends is a free tournament that AtGames runs each week. And the new Flipper Friend games are also on the Retro Legends Arcade. I actually like the music. I really like the sounds of it being. It has that underwater sounds. I like that. Okay. Let me see what else I got. Let's see. Other AtGames news. I'm going to make sure I cover all my slides that I put together. That was the new table, the Nautilus. We covered the Flipper Friends. Next, I want to talk just real briefly about Nod. They still have their Nod Day sale going on. One of the best deals, they have the Pinball Micro for $289.99 with free shipping. That's a pretty good deal. They have, if you get a 4KP, you can get a topper and a control panel for like $100 for the pair of them, which isn't a bad deal if you were looking to get a 4KP. And the biggest thing they have is they have deals on all the games right now where you can get the games for up to 50% off. So you buy the games on the machine for the 4KP and the HDP. And for the micro, you go to the AtGames website to buy the games. So the Nod sale is still going on. So make sure you pick up the games while they're on sale. This is the time if you're looking to buy some AtGames pinball games. Now would be a good time to do it because a lot of the games are on sale. I did put together a video that did really well that goes through all the games. I kind of show you the ones that I like. But you can look on my channel. I have a Nod video that goes through all the games. And it only has the games that are on sale. So you can see which games are on sale. See, you can get to see them in action. See if any of them interest you at all. But they do have some good games on sale for up to 50% off, which is nice. So, and that's the AtGames sale. So let me pull up my banner. Okay. So we talked about the results. They introduced the new games. We talked about the toy fair. We did the AtGames news. Talked about Nod. Talked about Nautilus EM Plus. Talked about the Flipper Friends results. Congratulations, Sacro, coming number 2. Okay, and then this Pac-Man Forever free game, and then the 90s arcade vintage states reaction video. Okay, so that's what I got left to do. Okay. So one other thing with AtGames, I feel like that with their AI character, Alex, he could be a little bit less critical of, like, I think some of the things he calls out are kind of ridiculous. He could be a little bit, maybe not highlight players that are slipping in rank. I don't think that's very motivating. But that's just my recommendation for Alex. I think I like Alex, but they got to kind of rein him in sometimes. I think he can be super critical. So next one thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about a free game. There's a link in the description. And this game costs you nothing. It's absolutely 100% free, and it is fantastic. I want to share this game that I found. It costs nothing. It's completely free. It's called Pac-Man Forever. And the link for this game is in the description. I've been addicted to this game since I downloaded it. It's fantastic. Let's take a look at this free Pac-Man fan game. It's free. It costs nothing. But it has everything that's great about the Namco games. It has all kinds of Easter eggs while you play it. I'm just going to show a little bit of it real quick. This is Pac-Man Forever. Link in the description. It is free. It costs nothing. And here's one more clip of Pac-Man Forever. This game is free. It costs nothing. You can download it. There's a link in the description. It'll take you to where you download it for free. But every level, it keeps changing what it looks like. It's just a super cool game. Here's another clip of Pac-Man Forever. This is the 1.1 update. This is the version I got. But it's just a free fan-made game. That was a look at Pac-Man Forever, free game, link in the description of this video. The next thing I want to talk about is what it was like going to the arcades in the 90s. And we're just going to check out a video I found about what it was like in the 90s to go to arcades. And if you're in the chat, please feel free to comment.
Going to the arcade in the 1990s in America was an experience. It was not just playing games, it was a social event, a proving ground, a place where you spent your allowance and established your reputation. The arcade was where serious gamers went, where skills mattered, where being good at a game meant something. The 1990s were the last great era of arcades. The games were incredible, far better than home consoles for most of the decade. Street Fighter II, Mortal Kombat, NBA Jam, racing games, and light gun games filled the floors. The arcade had games you could not play at home, but the decade also saw the beginning of the end. Home consoles were improving rapidly. PlayStation launched in 1995. The Nintendo 64 arrived in 1996. By the late 1990s, home gaming was catching up, and the gap was closing. Let's walk through what going to the arcade was actually like in the 1990s in America. Let's step into that world. Arcades were dark. The only light came from glowing screens and neon signs. Your eyes would adjust from the bright mall or street outside to the dimness inside. The darkness made the screens look better, more vibrant. The sound was overwhelming. Electronic beeps, explosions, music from dozens of games playing simultaneously, people shouting, talking trash, celebrating victories. The cacophony was part of the experience. The smell was distinctive. Cigarette smoke was common because arcades allowed smoking through most of the decade. Carpet cleaner and industrial floor wax, sometimes pizza or nachos from the snack counter. The floor was sticky. Spilled soda and years of foot traffic created a surface that grabbed your shoes. You would hear the slight stick and unstick sound with every step. Arcade games cost quarters, 25 cents for one.
There you go. And there was a great beginning. I mean, I remember the arcades in the 90s, you know, a dark room, you know. The arcades, you know, it was definitely a time period, you know. And when you went to the arcade in the 90s, you know, it was cool to play against people, you know. You could play some Street Fighter, play some NBA Jam. Yeah, this may or may not have been made by AI. It's still very good. I think the information in here is dead on. We got Ballydurn, good to see you. Aladdin's Castle was our mall hangout in the early 80s. Let's continue watching. And one thing that you don't see today is back in the 90s, you had to still put quarters in the machines. Like today, it's all free play. Like the arcades I go to, you know, most of them are not coin drop. You don't even have to use coins anymore. But listen to this. I find this was very interesting observation.
Play, sometimes 50 cents for newer games. $1 got you 4 plays. Your allowance disappeared fast. You would bring rolls of quarters or get change at the counter. The weight of quarters in your pocket felt significant. When they were gone, you were done. Good players could make quarters last. If you were skilled, 1 quarter could give you 20 minutes of play. Bad players would burn through $5 in 15 minutes. Watching quarters disappear taught you to get better. Street Fighter II was the game of the early 1990s, the fighting game that everyone played, the game that created the fighting game genre as we know it. Every arcade had at least one Street Fighter II cabinet, usually.
And I remember in the 90s, I mean, Street Fighter was the rage. In the 90s, if you went to a 90s arcade, it was not uncommon. Like the arcade I remember going to a lot in the 90s, they had like 2 or 3 Street Fighters. And they had all the other fighting games. But people would line up, they'd put their quarters in the glass, and they'd play those fighting games, you know? And Video Game Vegas says I was a bad player most of the time, but I just liked hanging out in a great arcade. Yeah, it had a certain atmosphere and ambiance, you know? And that's what made the arcades in the 90s still great. I mean, it was kind of a resurgence. You know, they had the golden age of arcades, and then they kind of came back in the 90s, mostly, I think, due to these awesome fighting games. Like Street Fighter was definitely a big one.
Multiple. The best players would draw crowds. People would watch high-level matches, studying techniques, learning strategies. The characters became iconic. Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Guile, Blanca, Zangief. Everyone had their main. Character selection said something about your play style. Playing against another person was intense. You would put a quarter on the cabinet to claim the next game. Winners stayed, losers walked away. Beating someone good felt amazing. Mortal Kombat launched.
And that's one of the things I like about doing this Retro Legends Arcade. I mean, it does give us leaderboards, and you do get to compete during the week against people that are amazing. Like, you know, to be able to have people like Sacro and other players drop scores in the arcade just gives you something to shoot for. And also, by focusing on one arcade game per week, you're actually going to see improvement. You're going to get better at the game. You know, if you're playing everything, you're never going to get good at any of the games. You kind of have to, the way you can improve your skill is to focus on one game. And if I give each one of these games a week, I mean, I am so much better an arcade game player than I ever was, because the access. I mean, we have access to all these great games so easily through emulation. You know, we could play all the greatest arcade games right now with a basic multicade. I'm going to read a comment here from Video Game Vegas. Street Fighter II was a rebirth of the 90s arcade. If it wasn't for that arcade games may have never fully came back. No home arcades, no arcade went up. Yep. Street Fighter, for me, it was one of the things I remember about going to the arcade in the 90s. It was all about Street Fighter. It was about these fighting games. And everyone loved playing these games. I mean, I personally, for me, my favorite fighting game I found was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which was later. But without these Street Fighter games, that game would have never existed.
In 1992 and caused controversy. The violence was graphic, with digitized actors, blood, and fatalities. Parents and politicians freaked out, but teenagers loved it. The controversy made it more appealing. Learning fatality combinations was social currency. Executing a perfect fatality on your opponent was the ultimate victory. Mortal Kombat 2 in 1993 was even bigger. Mortal Kombat 3 in 1995 continued the franchise. The games defined mid-1990s arcade culture. The blood could be turned off in some locations, but
no one's going to turn the blood off. That was the whole point of those games. The whole point of those games were they were so extreme. And let's face it. When you're a teenager, you want to push the buttons of the grown-ups, and those games they definitely did that with the violence. Sacro, it's so cool we get to continually relive the best memories of growing up in the golden age of arcades during these weekly challenges. I love running these. I do this out of a labor of love. This is a losing venture for my channel because I give prizes. It takes a ton of effort, but I do it because I love the games. And I like the fun. In the 90s arcade, I'm reliving that spirit. I'm giving people a place to virtually put their quarter on the glass. And the best part, just like a real arcade, anyone can walk up and play these games on the leaderboard. It's completely open. So, very simple. I'm not a competitor, and getting good has never been my thing. I just love to have fun. For those that love to compete and master the games, Retro Legends is the place to be. Thank you so much, Video Game Vegas. But you're always welcome just to play for fun and just be part of the community. I'm so glad you watch the show. You're always here in the chat, helping us with all your knowledge. By the way, it's got a great channel. I just watched this video on wokeness. It was great. But he's got a lot of topics on his channel, and he has an arcade tour. He's got a beautiful arcade. But, if someone had told me and when I was in the golden age of arcades in the 80s that I would have an arcade like I have at my home, I would have told them that they were crazy. But we do live right now in the golden age of arcades, in the golden age of home arcades, where you can have an arcade at home and you can play all these great games. That's the dream for me as a kid. I would have never dreamed that I could have all these things that I have, And I remember the Mortal Kombat. I got the Genesis version because it had the blood in it. But, yeah, I've never seen the arcade game with the blood turned off. I didn't even know it was possible. I've never seen one either because the whole point of the game is that it's so over the top, It kind of defeats the purpose. And the purpose was to push grown-ups buttons, right? Teenagers love to push, establishments buttons. And Mortal Kombat was very much taking everything to the very highest extreme with the violence. But it took a great deal of skill to play these games, And, I'm glad that, this is a place where anyone could come for free and put up a score of the games we're playing, And let's continue learning about Mortal Kombat. But Mortal Kombat was a huge part of the success of the 90s arcade. There was Street Fighter. There was Mortal Kombat. These were bringing people back in the arcade again. It actually helped all the arcade games because they would relive the magic of these 80s arcades when they came to the arcade.
Most arcades kept it on because that is what players wanted. NBA Jam revolutionized arcade sports games in 1993.
Did y'all catch that? The AI said NBA Jam. But the information is pretty much correct.
It was over-the-top basketball with huge dunks, players literally on fire, and announcers shouting, "He is on fire." The game was absurd and perfect. 2-on-2 gameplay meant you teamed up with a friend against another pair. The mix of cooperation and competition created real bonds. Boom Shakalaka became part of teenage vocabulary. Other sports games followed, like NFL Blitz and Wayne Gretzky.
By the way, if you're into NBA Jam, make sure to check out Ichabod Crane's channel. He does a lot of streaming of NBA Jam I've seen on his channel. So if you like NBA Jam, definitely check out Ichabod Crane right here on YouTube. He's in the chat.
Gretzky's 3D hockey. Arcade versions were almost always better than home console ports, with more responsive controls, sharper graphics, and more excitement. Racing games had actual steering wheels, gas pedals, and brake pedals. Sit-down cabinets felt like real cars, and the immersive sensation was incredible compared with home consoles that used simple controllers. Titles like Daytona USA, Cruisin' USA, Ridge Racer, and San Francisco Rush put you in the seat. Many cabinets had force feedback steering wheels that fought back when you crashed. The physicality made racing games special. Some cabinets were linked together so you could race against the person in the cabinet next to you. Head-to-head racing with real steering wheels.
Look at that Daytona. I mean, who doesn't love Daytona? What a great game. Daytona USA is one of the all-time great. For me, as a racing game, I love Daytona USA. I could play it right now on my Star Wars cabinet that I have. I have it on there. But Daytona USA is a great 90s arcade game. That's one that should have been made into a cabinet, 100%. Speaking of 100%, it is 100% time. Look at this. Look at this. 2 down. 2 down, guys. 1 to go. 1 to go. It is time. Hopefully we're saving the best for last. This should have been when I was talking about Sonic. This is the Nuka-Cola Quantum. The 90s was all about NBA Jam and beat 'em ups. Yep, and fighting games and Dance Dance Revolution and Daytona. There's just, when you start looking at it, really, there was like a whole second charge of types of games that came out in the 90s. And we're going to try the next flavor. We'll put in a Dr. Doom cup. There it goes. This is the Quantum. The Quantum. This looks like antifreeze, man. Now, this one's scary. If I had to rate them, I would say probably my favorite. I do like grape a lot, but I did like the grape the most. The sarsaparilla. The Sunset Sarsaparilla was my second favorite. And I'm going to try this, and I'll give you a rating on it, ranking them, because I haven't drank this one yet. But Mikey said the 90s was all about NBA Jam and beat 'em ups. Yeah, well, they had stuff like the Turtles, right? They had a lot of great beat 'em ups come out in the 90s, 100%. But Daytona USA, to me, is an iconic racer for sure.
Was gaming at its best. These racing games cost more, usually 50 cents or $1, but the experience justified the price. Light gun games had plastic guns attached to the cabinet. Popular examples included Time Crisis, House of the Dead, Area 51, and Virtua Cop. You would physically aim and shoot at the screen. Time Crisis introduced the pedal mechanic. Press the pedal to come out of cover and shoot, and release it to hide and reload. The physical movement made it more engaging. Playing light gun games was performative. Everyone could see you shooting, ducking, reloading. Good players looked cool and bad players looked ridiculous, spraying bullets everywhere. The guns had recoil mechanisms that kicked when you fired. Dance Dance Revolution, known as DDR, hit American arcades in 1998 and changed everything. It was a rhythm game where you stepped on arrows in time with the music. The concept was Japanese, but it became huge in America. DDR became a spectator sport, and good players would draw massive crowds. The physical skill required, stamina, coordination, and rhythm, was different from traditional games. Playing DDR was public performance. You stood on a raised platform with arrows, moving to music while people watched. The social pressure was intense. DDR attracted different players than traditional arcade games. More girls played. The music was J-pop and techno. The culture around DDR was distinct from fighting game culture. The arcade had a hierarchy. The best players.
Well, there you go. So then, of course, there was DDR, right? DDR, Dance Dance Revolution. You know, we'll read this comment out loud from Video Game Vegas. The first PlayStation ended up starting the death of the commercial arcade. We were finally able to get one-to-one versions of arcade games. Raiden and NBA Jam were perfect. Yeah, there were a lot of really good. That PlayStation 1, I remember the first time I played Tekken on the PlayStation, I was like, man, it just closed that gap. You know, they had Soul Edge, which was the game that came out before Soul Calibur was Soul Edge, and it also came on a PlayStation, but they started to close that gap where the distance between playing the arcade and playing the home version got closer and closer. But DDR, that was an arcade experience. It still is very much an arcade experience, the DDR games.
Commanded respect. If you could beat everyone at Street Fighter, you had status. If you sucked, people would pick on you. Trash talk was constant. Talking shit while playing was part of the game. The ability to stay focused while someone insulted you was a skill. Friendships formed over games. You would recognize regulars, learn their styles, and develop rivalries. The arcade created a community in ways online gaming does not replicate.
And that's what I'm talking about, the arcade community. Bring that community back. That was great. The community of players, just, acknowledge players' skills. Very simple.
Gender dynamics were complicated. Arcades were mostly guys. Girls who played were either really good and respected or treated condescendingly. Mall arcades were smaller and more accessible. You would go to the mall, stop at the arcade, and play mainstream games like fighting games, racing games, and popular titles. Standalone arcades were bigger, more serious, with multiple floors of games and tournament setups, and more obscure titles. Standalone arcades attracted hardcore players. Some arcades served alcohol to adults, and the atmosphere was different, with older players, more intense competition, and sometimes gambling on matches. Some arcades had redemption games like skee-ball, basketball, and whack-a-mole. You would win tickets and redeem them for prizes. The prizes were cheap junk, plastic toys, candy, and eventually maybe a radio if you saved thousands of tickets. The value was terrible, but kids loved it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about, there were no women in the arcades, though. The arcades I went to frequently, I remember in the 90s, it was pretty much a sausage fest. There might have been a few girls in there, but not many. Not many. So I don't know if the AI is really, completely wrong. It just didn't seem like that girls were into arcades in the 90s as much. But, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know anyone that was treating girls condescending? I don't really feel like women were told not to go to arcades. I just think it wasn't as popular for girls. Because the games were mostly super violent. Just speaking from my wife, she likes playing Centipede and Miss Pac-Man. She likes those kind of games. But the 90s games were definitely a different type of game. But you're right. I don't know if I agree with that in this video.
Redemption games were looked down on by serious gamers. Real gamers played Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, not skee-ball. Home consoles were improving. PlayStation in 1995 brought 3D graphics home. Nintendo 64 in 1996 had games that rivaled arcades. Dreamcast in 1999 delivered arcade-quality experiences at home.
And they still do. I mean, the Dreamcast, to me, I have many Dreamcasts, and I love the Dreamcast. The arcade games on the Dreamcast were absolutely incredible. They were using the same hardware they had in the arcade to run the games. So Dreamcast had close to perfect arcade ports. When you look at something like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast, they pretty much closed that gap completely. It was almost identical to going to the arcade.
The gap that made arcades special was closing. Why spend quarters at an arcade when you could play similar games at home, unlimited? Arcades started closing. The ones that survived focused on redemption games and food. The traditional arcade was dying. By the late 1990s, going to the arcade felt nostalgic, even while it was still happening. You could feel the culture ending. Marvel vs. Capcom brought comic book characters to fighting games. The fast-paced, over-the-top action was perfect for arcades. Tekken and Virtua Fighter introduced three-dimensional fighting games with graphics that felt incredible and gameplay that was complex and technical. Initial D brought Japanese street racing culture to American arcades with drifting mechanics, Japanese cars, and Eurobeat music. Pac-Man and older games were still around. The classics lived alongside new releases. Every arcade had a few cabinets from the 1980s that were still earning quarters.
And that's what was 100% true. I remember whenever I went to the arcades in the 90s, like there was that element that where they were playing the Street Fighter, they were playing the fighting games, you know, and there was people in there playing those, but still the 80s arcades, the classics, Galaga, you know, Miss Pac-Man, you know, all those games, they were still getting tons of action. So, you know, a good game is a good game. It's almost like it's timeless. Let's see, we have T-Bone in the house. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. The Dreamcast, you didn't need to buy the games or mod it. Just burn games on the CD. Yeah, Dreamcast really was a great home version of the arcade. Yeah, the Dreamcast did have some very unique games like Seaman. Yeah. That was a game with a microphone. It's like kind of like a Tamagotchi or whatever they call it. Like they had some really good original games too. But they had Power Stone and Power Stone 2. The Dreamcast was a great system, and it was really a tribute to arcade. The Dreamcast was the most arcade-like system. That's why I still have several Dreamcasts. It's just a great way to enjoy arcade games. The arcade games they did get from Sega were incredible. They did have a very cool and unique controller on the Dreamcast. But I'm a massive, I have a whole, I did a whole series where I played a bunch of Dreamcast games probably about 2 years ago. I just played through all the classics in the Dreamcast. But the Dreamcast really holds up because it was so far ahead of its time. It basically was arcade hardware that you could play at home. But going back to the idea of the 90s arcade, the 80s arcade games were still very much there. There was still some pinball there. I feel like pinball has kind of had a resurgence, but there was pinball in the 90s arcades too, for sure, 100%.
What defined 1990s arcades was the combination of superior technology and social experience. The games were better than what you had at home. Playing them meant being physically present with other gamers. The arcade was where you proved yourself, where your skills were tested publicly, where reputations were built. The social pressure elevated the experience. The physical controls, steering wheels, light guns, dance pads created experiences impossible at home. The arcade offered immersion home consoles could not match. The quarters system created stakes. Every game cost money. Losing meant paying for your failure. The financial pressure made victories sweeter and defeats more painful. For teenagers in the 1990s, The arcade was freedom. You would go with friends or alone. You would spend hours playing games and meet people. The arcade was your space, separate from parents and school. For those who spent time in 1990s arcades, the memories are specific. The feel of the joystick, the sound of quarters dropping, the taste of cheap pizza from the snack counter, the satisfaction of landing a perfect combo, the humiliation of losing badly in front of a crowd. The 1990s arcade represented the end of an era. It was the last decade when arcades were culturally relevant. After 2000, they mostly disappeared. The ones that survived became redemption game centers for kids, not gaming destinations for teenagers. But for those who experienced it, the 1990s arcade was something special, a place where gaming was physical and competitive in ways that online gaming would never quite replicate.
And there you go. There was our look at arcades in the 90s. And I thought that video was really amazing. So I wanted to bring it to the channel, let everyone react to it. I think it's a really great video. And last thing I want to take a look at is in the Retro Legends Arcade this week, we'll be playing. Make sure you download the free Pac-Man Forever game. There's a link in the description of this video. It's free. It's an amazing Pac-Man game that's free. And I want to take a look at Xevious, a quick deep dive into Xevious. And that'll be the show. Thanks so much for watching. This week in the Retro Legends Arcade, classic game, Xevious. Shields are indestructible. I think they call them meters. Oh, 19,000. Not a bad run, but that's for me at 20,000. Okay, back to these things. Whoa! 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 Ooh. Wow. That was intense. Oh! Man. That was cool. I got to the end boss. What an awesome game. I guess it just lets you move on. These guys are deadly. There you go. 28,300 is my score. Let me put my name in. And get a bunch of letters. How cool is that? Oh, how do I go back? Can I go back? There's no back, huh? I guess it's gonna be what it's gonna be. $28,300. Zoom in. Retro Legends arcade game this week. Xevious. 28,300. Done here live. Be sure to tune into the Retro Legends arcade Friday nights, 7:55 p.m. If you've not picked up the Tiny Brights cube, this thing's pretty cool. I like this thing a lot. Got different brightnesses. Check that out. Flashing. Different sounds. I also have this cool apple. Check this out. This is pretty cool. Look at that. How cool is that? It's the poison apple. You can enter a score in our leaderboards. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Just click on the link, enter your score. Can you beat 28,330? Love to see you on our leaderboards. Hope everyone has a great day. If you like this video, if you like classic arcade games, smash that thumbs up. And I will see you on the leaderboards. Take care. All right, all right, all right. If you are still here, I will be giving away the Pac-Man Yellow Tiny Brights Insert Coin Cube live right now. If you stuck it through, go to the Papa Brad's gaming channel and type in hashtag Pac-Man. Type in hashtag Pac-Man, and we're going to draw for this Tiny Brights Insert Coin Cube, hashtag Pac-Man. You got Bliss 2121. We got Video Game Vegas. So those of you that stuck around through the gameplay, you have a chance to win a Tiny Brights. And these things are super cool. Listen to it. It has different sounds. I'm going to hold it near my microphone. Hear it? It makes different sounds. And then it also does work. You can do the light in different patterns. And if you're looking for a cool way to support the channel, this is something cool you can put on your desk. And if you use the code, the link in my description, it does help the channel out. But really, it's all about, this company is based out of Colorado. Just a small USA-made product that I think is super cool. And if you use my link, I think I make like $4 or $5. But mainly you're helping out a company that's making something cool, that's retro. And it's just a cool thing. I'm going to start sitting these on a bunch of my arcades because it just kind of, it makes it feel like, you know, it's a coin-op machine then. I really like these things. But that's the Tiny Brights Insert Coin Cube. And we give people a few minutes. Hashtag Pac-Man is what you need to enter. If you want to win, type hashtag Pac-Man. And I will send you out this exact one you're looking at right here. It's the Pac-Man Yellow. It's going to be the yellow one, you know, the one that you saw in the video. You just saw it in the Xevious video. If you were watching this live, you literally saw the one I'm going to send you. It's pretty cool. So get your chance to win. Hashtag Pac-Man. Okay. And I'm just going to play the Tiny Brights. I have a quick little video that talks about it. It's not plastic junk. It's high quality.
We are Chronic Concepts, and this is our Tiny Brights Insert Coin Cube. It's a premium desk decoration, and it's built to light up your space with real arcade nostalgia. Our Tiny Brights collection is meant to be small. It's meant to be held in the palm of your hand. This one right here has an actual real insert coin to play button. You can press it. It has real arcade sounds. You can also insert a quarter right here in the slot, and it will come out the chute below. It is meant to come out the chute below. It is not a toy. It's not a piggy bank. This is primarily desk decor. And it's just a fun little added feature. It has adjustable brightness right here and adjustable volume. It also has dual power options, comes with a USB-C cable. It's not plastic junk. As you can see, this is all custom made, custom designed right here in our Colorado studio. It's a memory you can hold. So power it on and relive the arcade.
There you go. Power it on. Relive the arcade. Hashtag Pac-Man. Tiny Brights Insert Coin Cube giveaway is happening right now. Right now. We'll show it one more time. There's the Tiny Brights Insert Coin Cube. Get those entries in. Let me, okay, with that being said, let me pull it up. Those of you that stuck around to the end, good luck. Okay, here we go. I got to go to the StreamYard, the giveaway tool. Good luck. And here we go. The winner will be Video Game Vegas. I know he wanted one of these bad. Video Game Vegas, you are the winner. You are the winner. You have won the Pac-Man Tiny Brights Insert Coin Cube. Congratulations, Video Game Vegas. You can get in touch with me. I think you have my email. But if you need it, just let me know. But Video Game Vegas is the winner of the Tiny Brights Insert Coin Cube. And pick one of these up. It's a great company, made in the USA. And I'm going to show this video. I spent a lot of time making this video. Check out this video I made for them. What's up, gamers? Papa Brad here, and today we are going back to the sticky arcade floors, back to the neon lights, back to the moment when you slid the quarter into the machine and hoped this is the run. And this little cube right here, it captures all of that magic right in the palm of your hand. If you grew up in the arcades, bowling alleys, pizza joints, or in the back of a convenience store, you already know that sound, that click, that glow, that awesome feeling that something awesome is about to happen. Now this is my favorite part. Check this out. The coin slot actually works. How awesome is this? You can drop in the included token or a real quarter and watch it travel through the cube and slide down out the bottom. No screens, no apps, just pure tactile arcade joy. Tiny Brights nailed all the details. You've got adjustable volume, so it works whether this is on your desk, in your office, or in a full game room. And the brightness control lets you go from soft ambient glow to full-on arcade just open shine. At 2.75 inches tall, it fits right in the palm of your hand, but it packs a lot of serious nostalgia. It runs on a rechargeable battery or a USB-C, so you can place it anywhere. And it's got auto shutdown, so it's not going to drain power when you walk away. One of the coolest things is it comes in a massive variety of colors. It comes in multiple retro colorways: black, red, black and red, black and neon green, black and yellow. This is the Tiny Brights Insert Coin Cube, and it's basically a love letter to classic arcade machines. They have a version for any kind of gaming or arcade setup. This is the part that is really cool. Every Tiny Brights product is produced and designed and built in Colorado, dreamed up by hand and finished in their studio. This is not just a product, it's a tiny story. You're supporting a company in the USA. The insert coin button actually presses in and lights up with a classic red arcade glow. You don't tap it, you commit to it. And yes, it makes the authentic arcade sounds. That moment when your brain says, all right, here we go, it's on. In my opinion, this isn't a toy. It's not a lamp, it's a memory machine. If you love arcade history, retro gaming, or just want a desk piece that makes you smile every time you see it, the Tiny Brights Insert Coin Cube absolutely delivers. I have something special for my viewers. Type the coupon code PAPABRAD and you can get 5% off. The link to the Tiny Brights Insert Coin Cube is in the description of this video. Just click on the link and it'll take you right to it. This is a fantastic product and I fully endorse it. Check it out. It's absolutely amazing. Sorry about that. I always forget that I have that trailer at the end of it. But congratulations, Video Game Vegas. And everyone, enjoy playing the games this week on the Retro Legends leaderboard. Let me take a look real quick. Let's see. Video Game Vegas is the winner. How do I switch to can I switch to this? Share this tab instead. Okay. We already got some names up on the leaderboards. Look at that. Can you believe it? Already we have some people already on the leaderboards. They just went up minutes ago. We got Jay and the Empire Strikes Back, Xevious, Fallen Aces, Hot Wheels. We got 3 players. Locomotion Deluxe. Thanks for playing, Jay. Good to see you. Good to see you, Wingo. Leaderboards are live right now. Be sure to drop your scores. Let's have a great week. And everyone have a good weekend. Thanks so much. Stay legit. And I'll see you on the leaderboards. Take care.
Well, Papa Brad's a game man. He's got passion in his soul. From pinball tables to Atari, he's always in control. He's a master of retrogaming. The old school style's his thing. With every flick of the joystick, you can hear the twang ting. Stay legit, Papa Brad, keep the high school living. From the classic arcades to the AtGames Pinball board. With the Atari 2600, your love for games will never quit. Stay true yourself, Papa Brad, and always stay legit. He's a lover of the classics, the sound of pixelated beats. Late nights at the arcade with every game defeat. But he'll keep on pushing till he's reached that final stage. Papa Brad's the gaming legend. His passion never fades. Stay legit, Papa Brad, keep the high school rolling. From the classic arcades to the AtGames Pinball board. With the Atari 2600, your love for games will never quit. Stay true yourself, Papa Brad, and always stay legit.